I'll take the first period. I thought we played pretty hard in the first. I thought we competed well in the first. We did some stuff that we wanted to accomplish, and a team that was deeper than us, a team that competed harder than us in the end. The score is the score, but we'll look at the first period, and like I told the guys in the room, our focus now shifts to tomorrow. Or we're playing a team where only 3 points behind, and tomorrow's game becomes massive. You get 1 point within a playoff spot, and this win's irrelevant. This loss is irrelevant if we compete to get into a playoff spot. And I told those guys in there, you get yourself in the playoff race, and it's very rewarding. So that's our focus, nothing else. This game is gone. This game is done. It's irrelevant to us right now.
You talked a little bit about the first period. Obviously, a scoreless game until 19 and a half minutes. How huge was that first goal? I mean, could this have been a totally different game had you got into the dressing room scoreless after one?
Yeah, maybe it could have been. I think it's the hard part for that group is I thought, we haven't had a whole lot of success lately at home, and we've been on the short end of a lot of those games. And if I thought that for 19 minutes and 30 plus seconds they laid it on the line, they played hard, and you have that one little glitch, and it ends up in the back of your net, and for them it's demoralizing. They don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, and I thought early on in the second we came out and stayed right with it a little bit, and it just got away from us after that. And that's it is what it is. It's some youth, it's some veterans not pulling enough load for our group, but I give them a ton of credit in the first period. And I know tomorrow when it's on the line in Flint and in some tough situations, I know they'll show up tomorrow. And like I told them, their focus is tomorrow.
You had some chances. You had Kuchenberg was in the slot in the first period, had the puck hop over his stick, and Ryan Brown had a chance, and Moses had a chance. I think it was in the second, actually just before they went down the other end and scored. But you have a tough time finishing around the net. Is that? Maybe I'm being sort of Captain Obvious here, but how frustrating is that for not only you but for the players themselves on the ice? They have the chances, just don't have that finish around the net.
Yeah, it's very, very frustrating for them because they, our kill goes out and blocks a whole bunch of shots, and you hang in there, and you feel like right now it feels like you have to play the perfect game or get the perfect situation for us to score or get that opportunity. It's right. I'm sure you'd be frustrated too if you went out and shoveled your driveway, and 10 seconds later you had to turn around and redo it again, and then redo it again, and then redo it again. It's like an uphill battle that never ends. And like I said, I know that dressing room's not going to quit on each other, and I know that dressing room's going to continue to compete and battle. And they showed signs of it in the second, and obviously by the third, it was, we kind of lost all momentum in that. But yeah.
Obviously not the end result, but when you look at what was it, about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes to play in the third period, it was a 7-0 hockey game, and Lane Sim blocks a shot. I mean, that's got to mean something moving forward.
Yeah, like our focus for most of the part is those little habits and those details that we know make a difference. And whether you do it when it's 1-0, 1-1, 0-0, you're up 5-1, you're down, whatever. Those are parts of the game that have to be done consistently. And you know what? I bet you there was 4 or 5 opportunities in that game where we should have blocked a shot and we didn't, right? And that's the difference. That's the learning curve. That's the details of the game that you lack a little bit when you struggle. You lack a little bit when you're young. And like I said, if our older guys have to do more of that to fester it through the group, and they. As much as I thought Cooper had a pretty solid game, he was physical, trying to get to the net. But I think and I said this before, we need to pull more out of Marco. We need to pull more out of Filak. We need more out of Kai. We need more out of Deuce. Those are the guys. Every other team has those guys producing. We've got to find ways to pull that out of them, and they have to find it within themselves. They can't check out, right? Because they're not playing with 3 16-year-olds. They're playing with each other. They've got to drive the bus. They've got to sit in that seat and be like, okay, I'm going to take this game under control. And we've seen Marco do it. We've seen Deuce do it. We've seen those guys do it. We've got to find a way to do it more often.
For tomorrow, do you look to switch the lines up a bit, or do you try to keep the same lines together and keep that sort of chemistry kind of trying to going?
I mean, I think we had those lines in Missy, and I thought they played well, and we'll tinker it a little bit. I'm sure there'll be, someone will come in the lineup, whether it's Lomanak or Doe, and someone will come out. We're in the spot now where if you can contribute and you play well, you'll play. If you can't, then someone else is going to get an opportunity to step up and try and grab hold of the minutes. Like we said, our focus is shifted, but we still focus on the details. We still know where our situation is, right? We got Windsor's just behind us. Like I said, Flint's within our grasp, right? So we've got to start collecting points one way or another, and especially when you play them, you can't lose those games. The one in Erie was disappointing because they were close to us and we couldn't pull some points out, but we've got to find a way tomorrow, and our whole sole focus, our sole energy is going to be shifted to that game tomorrow.
Sorry, you mentioned earlier, the teams had some trouble on home ice this year. They've done relatively well on the road. What do you think is the reason or a reason for that disparity?
I'm not sure. Maybe, we play a little simpler. We don't feel like we have to, put on a show or entertain. I think, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I thought earlier in the year we played really well at home. Our crowd is great. The support is amazing around here, and we should be feeding off that. And it just tends to get away from us a little bit quicker. We get weird bounces in here, and we've got to find ways to produce at home and show our group the support that they've given us. We've got to entertain them a little bit more.
You got Luke Ash leaving in a couple of days for the Prospects game. As someone who's been in this league as a 17-year-old defenseman, what can you say about the job he's been doing this year for you back there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a huge testament to where his game's gone since the start of the year, right? I think if you look around the league, I don't think there's a 17-year-old defenseman in the CHL that plays the minutes he plays the hard minutes he plays. He's not insulated by a 19, 20-year-old like Dickinson is in London. He's insulated by a 16, 17-year-old that's just the same age as him. So for him to show up every night and play a 50-goal scorer on this team and a 100-point player on that team, that's a lot to ask a 17-year-old. And the fact that he shows up and competes and he's getting recognition for his upside and his ability. When he's engaged, when he skates, when he moves pucks, he's a dynamic player, and you know what? He's getting the recognition he deserves, and hopefully it'll work out for him. I'm happy to see him in that game, and I'm hoping he can continue to contribute for us here. But like I said, he's in one every night. Like his group with Younger, Huey hurt. Like you look at our decor, there's no veteran that can settle things down for them. They're on their own trying to figure it out for themselves, and that's what I'm talking about. We need some of our older guys to help settle it down for them, right? We need a block when we need it. We need a puck just chipped out when we need it. And those are the moments of the game that we've got to learn and recognize when they start to tilt the ice, and when it starts to happen, we have to find a way to swing it back in our favor.